Hey, what's up guys? It's Adam from Lazy Guy DIY, and today I'm going to give you an awesome shop hack. I promise, if you're a woodworker or you're kind of maybe DIY woodworking, this is a great tip and I promise you'll love it. So let's check this thing out. So let's say you're using your router and you're cutting out a template, and I have had this issue a ton of times. We're using a thickness planer and you need a temporary hold. So a lot of times what you'll do if you're a woodworker is you'll use double-sided tape. And this stuff is great. You can just get it online. It's got somewhat of a good hold, but the problem is it's so thin that it will not make a great bond or great connection. So if you're going through and doing a router template and running through and really getting through maybe some tougher grain wood, some hardwood, or say you're sending something to the thickness planer that is not quite level, sometimes that bond just does not stick. So I've had a ton of issues. You can see here I used the double-sided tape and I wasted a ton of walnut because this thing just kept moving and splitting and everything else. And what I really needed was something a little bit stronger. So I talked to my friends at T-Rex Tape, and that's who sponsors this video here, and they have a hold tape that is fantastic. I mean, this stuff looks like fruit by the foot. I promise, don't eat it. It's not strawberry or cherry flavor, but this stuff is very, very strong bond. It's a little bit thicker, so you're not going to get a flat connection like you would with the double-sided tape here, but you have 24-pound hold, you have 30-pound hold, and you have 50-pound hold. So what this means is that you can really work on a project and not have that torque just lift your project off. So let's take a look at it here and see how it does. So I mentioned before, this is great for router templates. You saw the last one there, I had a ton of double-sided tape on there, and I'm just using a few little pieces here of the mounting tape from T-Rex. And what's great is that it's pretty strong bond here. It's a little difficult to get off, but it is kind of a rubbery attachment and it works great. So got this on here, I'm gonna run it through the router. I'm gonna use the combination bit here and just push it right through. And this is where I was having problems with the last one where it was just twisting off. It was just too much length to run through and the pieces were just pulling right off. So with a little bit of a putty knife here, you're able to pry it open. And what is fantastic here is because it sort of is a rubbery texture, it comes right off and it's not leaving an adhesive like a piece of double-sided mounting tape would. So normally I would have to sand this smooth, but this stuff comes right off and there's no residue on it. And now for the big boy here. This thing is a little bit wobbly. It's just a random piece of wood that I have here. And so what I'm doing is marking where I'm seeing where the contact's gonna be. I'm putting on the mounting tape right here in the spots where I think the connection's gonna be. And I put it on, and again, I struggled a little bit to get the backing off, but we put it on here and we're ready to go. We're gonna put it on, and I would recommend that you let this set for a little bit and put some weight on it. That way it really bonds to it. So we're gonna raise this thing up because this is a really thick piece of wood here. Run it through the thickness planer, and I ran it through a couple times so you don't have to watch it, and it came right up here. So no issues, nice and flat, ready to go. So the one thing I will note is you're actually going to want a putty knife and maybe even a heat gun if you're using this, because the bond is so strong. You want to make sure you get through your project pretty quickly because you don't want it to set and then completely lock in. So the longer the stuff sets, the stronger that bond gets. So work, get out, pull it apart. And the nice thing is because it is a little bit thicker, you are able to get in there with the putty knife and separate your project and take the two pieces apart. So if you wait too long, it's never coming apart, I promise you, which is a good thing if you're using this to mount anything on the walls or for the typical use. But this is a shop hack, so this is the information I'm giving you for this. So check that out, and if you like it and you try it, absolutely let me know. I'm going to leave the links to all this in the profile here down below, and check out T-Rex Tape. I have a bunch of other DIY hacks and around the house hacks for home improvement on my website, so check that out on lazyguydiy.com. And if you like this video, make sure you hit subscribe right here, and maybe check out this video right here too, because it's a pretty good one and I think you'll enjoy it. Thanks guys, and I'll see you next time. I promise. So if you're, God